Welcome back everyone, it's here, and today I've got some r/BestOf for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. This post was collected by Chromex Boy. Their tagline is, "She made the produce wildly uncomfortable." The original OP is Galaxy Garlic. Posted to r/Am I the Asshole on February 14th, 2025. Am I the asshole for reporting my coworker for cheating in the company walking competition? At our last company meeting, they announced there would be a step competition. Participation was voluntary. If the average number of steps is greater than or equal to a 5K per day, all participants get a Friday half day. The person with the most steps overall wins an Apple Watch. We would log our steps during work days only for 20 days. I've been in a funk lately and was glad for an excuse to get back into my fitness routine. I love running and asked if steps from running could be counted. Matt, who volunteered to manage the competition, said it did. My goal was 20,000 steps a day, thinking this would easily put me in the lead, but on day one, this guy Dave posted 23,000. I sent him a message on Teams saying something along the lines of, "It's on!" The next day I put up 24,000. He answers back with 25,000. Another coworker, Jenna, also joined in. The three of us started having daily chats about our workouts. By week 2, it's looking certain one of us will win, and the whole group is absolutely getting a half day off work. Then I checked the log, and out of nowhere, Tiffany, who'd been posting 10 to 15,000 per day, posts 65,000 steps. For perspective, a marathon I ran resulted in 52,000, so I'm skeptical. But also, maybe Tiffany ran a casual ultra marathon on a workday. Who knows? I sent her a Teams message. That's a lot of steps. What's your secret? She said she plays volleyball and wanted to count the steps from her game, but can't safely keep her phone or watch on her to keep count. So to solve this problem, Matt looked up a chart online and gives a step equivalent for the activities. Volleyball equals 89 steps per minute, and tennis is 133 steps per minute, etc. Fair enough, but the math still ain't mathin', so I said, "Wow, you must have played for like 8 hours." Her reply, "Well, I also rode my bike." Now, this is where I call bullshit, so I clarified, "You counted riding your bike?" Turns out, she didn't just use the chart for volleyball, she used it to count everything she did and converted it into steps. Bike riding, stretching, yoga, washing the dishes, all great, but those are not steps. This seemed pretty lame to me and I just said, I don't think that's really in the spirit of this competition, and immediately went to Matt to ask about this chart. Specifically, if bike riding counted towards steps. He said bike riding didn't count. It was too different and also unfair since not every employee has access to a bike. I thanked him for clarifying and told him that Tiffany may also need some clarification. Not 2 minutes later, I get this message from Tiffany, "Really? You complained about me? That's actually not in the spirit of the competition. I lost a pet recently and I've been so depressed. I've been struggling to lose weight and I was really proud of my steps from yesterday. Not everyone can be a marathon runner like you. Really uncool." I knew I was being a little cheeky going to Matt, but Tiffany's message really took me by surprise. Am I the asshole? Real quick before we get to the relevant comments, I want to stress to please keep in mind that this competition has an actual physical prize on the line. An Apple Watch. Alright? It's not like this is just like a for fun competition. Flying Monkey 567846-1. You're the asshole for taking it too seriously. The corporate version, paid portal usually associated with a health insurance company, I've worked and done this 3 places at least, where they have these walking competitions, I'll have them set up like this usually. So the people who do gym twice a day usually rack up a lot of points. Gardening counts as well, as you expend more calories than just plain walking. Matt is a doormat though. He had a chart. He told people to use the chart. You didn't. He changed his mind after you pushed him. Poor guy is probably regretting organizing this now. OP responds, "I learned about the chart from Tiffany. It wasn't something presented to the whole group." Coco Rono Kawari, "Not the asshole, cheating is lame." Who won though? OP responds, "Competition ends next week." Inedible Calamari 42, "I want to know about Dave." OP responds, "Dave's cool. We never really had a reason to interact at work before, just given our roles. He's training for a triathlon. Can confirm he doesn't count the biking or swimming he does towards this competition. Discus Meniscus comments, was it the Steptember.us? This competition allows entering in other activities, which are then converted to their step equivalents, everything from house chores, yard work, and playing with kids. OP responds, it's not that, we're just logging our steps into a shared Excel doc on SharePoint. Mincing Aglet, how did everyone collect their step data to begin with? My smartwatch keeps a running total throughout the day. It doesn't matter if I'm walking, running, riding a bike, washing dishes, scratching my nose. Whatever movement that causes the mechanism of my watch to the point where it is recognized as a step will count as a step. There are hundreds of devices that can track step data, and there are bound to be differences between brands. I've known people who use their phones to track steps, which I believe is just as valid as any other means of tracking. Heck, the very nature of the contest is built on winning a better device. If it's unfair since not every employee has access to a bike, were steps taken to ensure that every employee had access to identical methods of capturing step data? The playing field was never level to begin with. Sorry, but you're the asshole. OP responds, initially folks were just meant to use a wearable if they had one or their phone. Reporting is just an honor system, manual entry to a spreadsheet. The chart for manually calculating steps was provided to Tiffany only, as far as I know, because she presented this issue of not having her phone on her while playing volleyball. The general verdict, thank God, was not the asshole. By the way, people are ignoring the fundamental issue here is the cheating aspect. Like everyone's like, well, everyone can count their steps differently. What the fuck is stopping me from just using the logic of grabbing a step counter, duct taping it to my car's tire, and driving to work? Hey, I logged like 18,000 steps in 30 minutes. Look at that. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. You can't prove I duct taped it to the side of my car's rim. No, that'd be crazy. You see, you're failing to account that I converted me pressing the gas pedal into true steps, which every time I floor the accelerator, that's like easily 800 steps, right? Yeah, I think it is. Now give me Apple Watch. Sorry, I'm being incredibly petty. I'm really sleep deprived right now and trying to get this done. And this is actually just getting under my skin in a really weird way. Update post, March 4th, 2025, 2 weeks and 3 days later. So the feedback on my last post made me feel like less of an asshole for sure, but what happened next definitely got rid of any remaining guilt I may have had. Tiffany won the steps competition. After I spoke with Matt, he tried to clear things up with Tiffany, but in his words, she was combative and rude. So he ended up looping in our HR rep, Jill. Jill decided that Tiffany could keep her 65,000 steps and that the rules would just be clarified for everyone going forward. Well, going forward, Tiffany continued to post 35,000 to 40,000 steps every single day. Less ridiculous than 65,000, but still ridiculous considering we all sit at desks 8 hours a day. It was still a tight race between the four of us because we, Dave, Jenna, and I, had been posting higher than Tiffany prior to the 65,000 step day. Then Dave got sick. He only posted 4,000 one day, and that was enough for him to fall too far behind. Then I had something urgent and time-consuming come up at work and only got 10,000 steps that day. That was enough for me to fall behind too. So it was basically up to Jenna at that point and she was really working for it. Even got up at 4 a.m. the last couple of days of the competition to try and max out steps. The highest she ever got to was about 41,000. And in the end, Tiffany beat her by about 250 steps overall. Tiffany had zero issue happily accepting her award at the next company-wide meeting and gave this super annoying speech about how everyone did so great and how in the end she's just glad we all became more active and healthy. I never responded to the message she sent me about being depressed about her dog or whatever. At the end of the day, this is my job, and I'm not trying to get into some messy and weird fight over an Apple Watch and an extra 4 hours on a Friday. Johnny Mac 19 comments, combative and rude? Yeah, this should have led to a meeting with HR and a disqualification. Opie responds, yeah, Tiffany has gotten away with stuff like this before in more serious work situations too. I don't get it. WLFWRTR comments, Jill and Tiffany are friends, ? Opie responds, not that I'm aware of. Jill's remote and lives in another state. Lighthouse on Saturn comments, my work has an app rule. You have to use an app to count your steps, and if you don't have a phone or device capable of counting steps, they give you a tiny little beeper-sized step counter. It's ridiculous that she obviously cheated and they didn't feel ashamed by it. Tells you what kind of person she is. Opie responds, this did drive me crazy. They should have required some type of proof instead of just relying on the honor system. Booch comments, out of curiosity, once it was made clear that she was allowed to cheat, why didn't you just have everyone report as many steps as they wanted to each week, and then meet privately to share real step numbers with each other for your own benefit? Opie responds, for me, the best case would have been to win honestly and for her to cheat and still lose. Obviously didn't work out that way, but I figured if I lost, I would have at least gone down fighting the good fight. This sounds way more dramatic than I feel about this, but I don't know how else to explain it. This actually really does frustrate me because I just want to add, like, I try to go out of my way to have a nightly 5-mile walk just to like clear my head after everything's gone because I'm still a night owl and I like to just go on a walk and clear my head. On that 5-mile walk, I'll maybe log in like 12,000 steps. Sometimes more depending on if I go a bit further than that, and if my pacing is included as well. And that walk will take me about 2 hours to do. Now, is it possible that Tiffany might have a few days a week where if they're counting exercise and volleyball that she'll have definitely a shit ton of steps? Most certainly. But every fucking day after she apparently had a depressive episode and was lazy? No, I don't think so. Her body would break. Tiffany 100% inflated her numbers just so she could get the Apple Watch. They made a grandiose speech about how everyone's been so active after she cheated in a fucking company walkathon. I guess for me, part of it is just her having the gall of getting called out and caught for just fucking lying and putting in more steps than the average person has for a fucking marathon, and then talking about the fact of, you should let this slide because my dog died. Give me Apple Watch. I don't know. I'm definitely sleep deprived and being definitely more angry than normal at this, but it definitely did get under my skin a little bit. This post was collected by Direct Caterpillar 77, and their tagline is, of course, Satan is not a pogo stick. Uploaded by user Please Help Me on July 13th, 2016. I, 22 female, found a hidden folder on my girlfriend's, 22 female, hard drive with heaps and heaps of photos of her stepsister, 26 female. I'm all over the place now and could really use someone's advice/help. Been with my girlfriend for 18 months now. It's been really smooth sailing so far. We have similar hobbies, but different enough jobs that I always love her coming over / me going to hers and talking about our days. I could honestly sit and listen to this girl for hours. She's incredibly funny, insanely smart, so gorgeous, and I'm constantly gobsmacked that she wants to be with me. That's why this is so hard. It's come out of left field and I have no idea what to do. So, we don't live together right now, but we're only about 15 minutes apart, and the majority of nights we are with each other. The other night, girlfriend left her hard drive at mine. She keeps a lot of TV shows / movies on it, and she brought it over to watch something with me. She obviously forgot it in the morning when she left. I had a day free and wanted to watch something. She's really into sci-fi stuff and has tried to get me to watch some shows, but it just isn't my thing. But I thought I'd surprise her and try to get into one of her favorite shows so we could watch it together. I was looking at a bunch of shows, Firefly, Doctor Who, Star Trek, etc., to try and find one that looked manageable. I didn't want to commit to something with a million seasons like Doctor Who apparently has. I decided on Firefly, and for those of you who don't know, it's just a season long. But in all the video files, there was a folder that was, one, just titled, Ugh, which obviously is such a weird folder name. I assumed it was porn or something, but when I went into it, there was just masses and masses of photos and videos and screenshots of text from my girlfriend's stepsister. What the fuck? I honestly thought I was dreaming, going through all this junk. I have no idea what's going on. It looks so dodgy, right? That she has obviously hidden this folder / moved all the photos of the stepsister into here instead of on iPhoto or something. At first, I had such dread, like she must be cheating on me with her stepsister, like we're living in some fucking porno. But the photos are all pretty innocent from what I've seen, just day-to-day stuff. There's some weirder ones like photos of stepsister napping on the couch or swimming in the pool / sunbathing. Like, they make me think she didn't know they were being taken. But at the same time, she has taken similar photos of me and our friends, but showed them to me / them later. Just messing around on her phone. And there's photos of the sister just around the house in her undies and a t-shirt. Again, if I saw that on my girlfriend's phone, I wouldn't pay much attention, but now I don't know. Is that a weird photo to have of a sibling? Like, the texts aren't sexy or anything either. Mostly they're just from the stepsister saying stuff like, "I don't know what I'd do without you. No one makes me laugh like this. This girl at work makes me think of you. I already love her," etc. Like, if I saw them on my girlfriend's phone in the convo, I wouldn't think anything of it. It's the fact that she screenshotted them and saved them to this weird folder that freaks me out. The backstory is my girlfriend and her stepsister have been living together since my girlfriend was like 9 or 10 and the sister was like 13 or 14. I know my girlfriend worships her sister. And look, it's for good reason. The sister is super charming, beautiful, and really successful in her field of work. Veterinarian, she's caring too. She is, for sure, the whole package. And I definitely get a bit giggly when she's around. She's just that sort of girl. I never thought my girlfriend's feelings for her went any further than being platonic. Well, until now though. I don't think they're having an affair. Like, the sister is engaged and really in love with the guy. She has said she identifies as straight. My girlfriend has always been pretty judgmental / negative of the future brother-in-law, but I chalk that up to just being protective. Now, I don't know. Is she jealous? What do I do? I have no idea how to bring this up with my girlfriend. Again, I feel like the only evidence I have that something shifty is going on is that she took the time to move every photo / video regarding the sister into a folder that has clearly been hidden. There is nothing in the folder that is weird apart from the sheer amount of stuff in there. Like, it's over 7,000 files. Girlfriend is not a photographer aside from the casual social media stuff. I'm sorry this is all over the place. I need some help. Please tell me what your take is. Thanks. Too long didn't read. Found a hidden file on my girlfriend's computer with over 7,000 files, photos, videos, screenshotted texts of / from her stepsister. Have no idea how to proceed. Relevant / top comments and theories. Baked Alaska 1. Ugh. That name has some history behind it. Just chiming in with something that hasn't been mentioned yet. Maybe your girlfriend wants to be her, rather than to be with her. She could be envious of her, and kind of obsessively studying her and trying to win her approval. Still strange and worth asking her about. Arpsa Zombie. I have a whole folder of my sister's stuff. Photos, files, scans of her important documents, lists of her passwords, other random stuff on my hard drive. It's a second backup for her. It's also labeled a derogatory name as a joke. I guess if someone saw that with no discussion or explanation, it could end up starting all sorts of conspiracy theories. Before you make a leap to a wild conclusion, talk to your girlfriend. There's likely a totally normal reason for this. Sad Walrus comments. Well, there are some possibilities here. First, she may just have a crush on her. It happens. Your girlfriend may know full well she has no chance and may not even want a chance, but saving that stuff made her happy. Second, I have to ask if your girlfriend has ever had a friend that died young. I've been with my best friend for 25 years and I save all of our conversations in every photo. Everything. Why? Because 2 of our closest friends died before we turned 30 and we had nothing backed up. We struggled to find anything to hold on to. Now, we both save everything. This is definitely strange, but the reason why she's doing it should determine what, if anything, you do or say about it. I'd mentioned you found it and be like, I wasn't trying to snoop, I was trying to watch sci-fi, but all your sister's stuff is on your drive. Obi responds, I get keeping mementos, and I know I keep every blurry, shitty photo that's on my phone, because yeah, I agree. You never know what memories are going to be really special. It's the fact that the folder was hidden, named ugh, and just of the sister. That's frightening me. I know we need to talk, I just worry that she'll lie to me and minimize her feelings for the sister, and I'll have no way to know if she's being honest. Thanks for your advice, it's a different take. She hasn't lost anybody except a grandfather, and I have never had the sense they were close, but it's definitely a possible explanation. Tommy Guns 007. 7,000 of anything is an obsession. There's some psychological component that you are missing, sexual or not. Almost all of us have had relationships that are hard to define. I knew of 2 twin brothers that slept in the same bed up to and including 22 years old. It was completely odd. The reality of the situation is her mental health. If she was in love with this person, maybe she moved on to you, and the sister was the last person she was emotionally close to, and now you are the new person she's obsessing over. I bet she has many photos of you sleeping that you don't know about. Ugh, is her accepting the fact that her emotional relationship is fractured because one or both are straight and have grown up. The sis is married, and your girl is with you. Opie responds, I agree with it seeming like an obsession. I'm terrified that this means that she's in love with her stepsister, knows it would never happen, and now I'm the consolation prize. I'm scared she will tell me it's innocent, and I have no way of knowing if that's the truth or not. User Lammy's comments, when is the date of the most recent thing added? If it isn't recent, she might have had a crush on the sister for a while and forgot to delete it or something. Technically, it's not incest since it's step-sibling, but it's still kind of weird. 7,000 pictures is a lot. I think you should ask her about it and be honest and say how you found it. OP responds, it's in front of me now. I arranged it by date added. Latest was 2 weeks ago. Was a text convo. My girlfriend sent the sister a photo of her in the dress she bought for a ball we're going to, and the sister replied, damn girl, with all these love heart eye emojis and the fire emojis. So yeah, it is definitely ongoing, whatever it is. The oldest are photos of them when they were still in high school. 125 comments, it seems strange, but can't it be a surprise for her stepsister's birthday? She decided to save all the memories that she could to have a huge database, and then select the best ones to prepare the surprise. I know this is just a theory, but it's impossible to know with these facts only. Can't you talk to her and explain that you found the photos even though you were not actively trying to do so? I mean, explain your motives or it'll appear like you were snooping. And ask her the meaning of that folder? It's always best to talk, especially in these types of situations. Good luck, OP. I hope this is just a misunderstanding. OP responds, I thought this could be an option too, but the title of ugh made me worry that it wasn't as innocent as a gift, in addition to it being hidden. I don't know why she would have hidden the folder if it was a present. She doesn't live with the sister, and it seems like a crazy precaution to take when stepsister doesn't even use the hard drive. I know I should talk to her, and I plan on doing so. I'm just trying to get myself squared with what I want to say. Thank you for your advice. Smiley face. Update, July 20th, 2016. 1 week later. Hi guys, a few people hit me up for an update and I wanted to let you all know what ended up happening. Thanks for everyone's support and advice. I wasn't expecting so many people to comment and I really appreciate everyone's feedback. I've added some fake names here because there's more people involved and I think it gets more confusing. From all the comments, I got the sense that I was hugely overreacting. I'm an anxious person who can jump to the worst case scenario a lot of the times. It's something I'm really trying to work on because I don't like that side of myself. That's really why I came here, to get another opinion before talking to my girlfriend. And you all slapped some sense into me, so thank you for that. So my girlfriend came over that night and I decided to follow people's advice and just talk to her about it honestly and be completely upfront. I said, I wanted to surprise you by getting into Firefly, so I went onto your hard drive to get it. And read it, my heart just broke. She was excited and wanted to put it right on so we could watch it together. And I knew then that what I thought had happened didn't. She obviously didn't make the connection with the folder being hidden in her Firefly folders and was just keen to watch the show with me. That little reaction just made me feel so relieved. It's hard to explain, but I knew then that there was no way she was hiding this big secret and she obviously didn't have any shame or embarrassment around the hidden folder because she didn't even remember that the folder was in there. So I just said that I had accidentally found the folder of her stepsister Lizzie, the one called Ugh. I asked her why she had made it. Her face just fell and she went quiet for a bit, and then she told me this whole story. So I had noticed my girlfriend had been quiet and a bit sad recently, but she's been working a lot and I just assumed she was super tired. But no, like a few of you guessed, she had had a big fight with Lizzie. A few weeks ago, a high school friend, Gina, of my girlfriend, got in contact with her on Facebook. Gina is fairly religious and goes to church a lot. Gina said she didn't want to make waves in my girlfriend's family, but wanted to let her know the guy Lizzie is marrying, John, is well known in the Christian community in our area for being involved in those gay conversion workshops and seminars. Gina wanted to make sure my girlfriend was okay and seemed to think maybe she had accepted John's work out of some internalized homonegativity. My girlfriend and I did not know that John did stuff like that. I only knew that he was a therapist and that he went to church, and my girlfriend said he had only ever been introduced like that to her. She said she was pretty sure her parents didn't know either, as they have always been loving and accepting of her and would be outraged over John's line of work. She was worried that John had been lying to Lizzie as well, and contacted Lizzie to tell her what she had heard from Gina. Obviously, it didn't go well. Lizzie was very defensive and basically just kept telling my girlfriend that John's beliefs were his beliefs, and Lizzie had no right to make any assumptions over it. It was clear Lizzie knew what John was doing and was completely fine with it, and was hiding it through a mission from her family. My girlfriend cried and cried through telling me this. As I said in my last post, Lizzie was such a hero to my girlfriend and she loves her so much. So this acceptance is such a betrayal. I think that's why she didn't tell me when it first happened, and when she hid those files, she just didn't want to have to deal with it, because Lizzie hurt her so much by not caring what John does for therapy. These workshops focus on telling gay kids and adults of how wrong and perverted they are and basically forcing them back into the closet. They focus on scaring parents into cutting support off from their gay children and use all of these horrible tactics to basically force these people to hide their sexuality. So, she said she couldn't just stand having all of these reminders of Lizzie scattered through her computer. So she ended up putting them all into one folder and hiding it. I guess meant I don't want to deal with this right now. We're sort of at a loss of what to do right now. I'm obviously just trying to give my girlfriend as much support as I can because everything is her decision now. Lizzie doesn't seem willing to see that what her fiancé has dedicated his life to is so painful. For her sister, my girlfriend doesn't even know whether to tell her parents. On one hand, it's going to be horrible, painful, and awkward as balls to have family dinners with this future brother-in-law who thinks that her and me are defective. And my girlfriend is pretty sure both her parents, including her stepdad, would do what they can to protect her from John. On the other hand, she loves Lizzie so much and doesn't want to force her away from her family. It's not Lizzie's profession, and John has never been outright nasty to my girlfriend. So, it's still in motion, but I wanted to let you guys know what's happened since my last post. I'm obviously relieved my girlfriend doesn't have feelings for Lizzie, but this is still heartbreaking in a different way. It's horrible to see my girlfriend so upset, and I'm just trying to give her as much love and care as humanly possible. I'm excited for tonight because I borrowed a projector from my friend and I'm going to set it up so we can watch Firefly on the wall of my living room. I'm going to make us a big blanket fort and order pizza so we can snuggle and watch TV all night. Thank you all again. It means the world to me that you all took time out of your lives to offer advice to me. Too long didn't read. My girlfriend hid photos and texts of her stepsister because they're fighting and she didn't want to look at them. Turns out, stepsister is marrying a homophobe that works for a church performing those gay conversion workshops. Edit. Thank you to everyone for such an outpouring of support. It means so much to me. My girlfriend and I had a big talk last night and she's going to tell her parents. It's likely they'll find out at some point anyway, and it isn't fair that my girlfriend should feel uncomfortable with her own family. And to all the people who are saying John must be gay, please think about what you're saying and how offensive it is. Yes, there may have been instances where intensely homophobic people are hiding same-sex attraction, but they're in the minority. If I came to you saying my girlfriend was black and her sister was marrying a KKK member, no one would be saying, "Oh, he just wants to be black." Some people are just hateful. What I will say is that Gina's a real one for reaching out to check to see if OP's girlfriend was okay and wasn't accepting John's work for internalized negativity. Or at least that's my interpretation of that. I really hope I don't need to explain why it would be so painful and just so heartbreaking to find out that someone who you're really close with is essentially dating someone and about to marry someone who literally just fucking hates everything about you. And it's kind of the realization of, wow, you're actually willing to tolerate someone who despises my entire existence and you're willing to spend the rest of your life with them. So, do I just mean nothing, and do you see me to be in a similar light, or do you just not actually accept me? Like, there's gonna be so many questions attached to that there, and like, it's just shameful. A lot of us who are in the LGBTQ community are very aware of how horrific conversion therapy is. Hell, it's a shadow that acts as a threat that looms over a lot of us. Lizzie's fiance participates in a system that is riddled with abuse and just a lot of horrors. It is frightening to look at what conversion therapy does to someone. And it's something that a lot of people who leave that oftentimes have 4 to 5 times higher suicide rates than people who are actually just part of the LGBTQ community. And Lizzie just accepts that. And OP's girlfriend has to now live with the fact that someone they looked up to is okay with dating someone who is an active participant in that. In the end, I can really only hope that after almost 10 years that OP and their girlfriend are still together and doing all right, and maybe Lizzie was able to realize the harm and pain that she was inflicting and stepped away. But the problem is how do you no longer see that family member in the light of, you were willing to date someone that fundamentally despises my existence? Hey, welcome to the outro. Don't forget this whole thing is basically brought to you by GamerSupps. If you like caffeine, then I can't recommend GamerSupps enough. Use code Oz at checkout to support the channel. And I do actually use this product. It's replaced all other sources of caffeine for me because I feel good. It doesn't have any of that extra stuff that a pre-workout blend might have. It's with a couple of the extra things to make it so you don't crash as hard. It's good. I like it. Personally, if you really want a good flavor, try the Soda Pressing Pear or even the Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are my personal favorites right now.